Nina Williams. She requires a lot of practice to be truly effective, which can feel like an uphill struggle depending on the game. Her golden games were Tekken 4, 5, and 6, but Tekken 7 saw her drop to the middle of the road. Perhaps Tekken 8 will be her redemption. Feng Wei. Conservative estimates ranked him around a tier in T5 with his simple, fast hard-hitting strikes. T6 overcorrected with their nerfs, but T7 brought him back to the top of the tree. Fakumram. While Leroy lost his win button status, the series' latest Muay Thai fighter remains a threat to the guests. He's good at knocking foes out of range, and smashing them with his guard break moves into walls. His moves are easy to understand, and his odd proportions make it hard to hit him despite his size. Even after his mobility was toned down, Fakumram is tough to get past. Leroy Smith. Offensive opponents would get parried and punished with hefty damage. Defensive ones would get the same for any mistake. His moves weren't even hard to learn. He's since been fixed, but for a while, T7 had a character as bad as T5 Steve Fox. He was strong in his T4 debut, less so in T7, and execution heavy in all of them thanks to his different stances, dodges, and jabs. T5 turned him into a menace. In addition to his high priority moves and mobility, he also had an infinite combo that, with the right timing, was inescapable. Players had to wait until T5 drive for this cheese to be removed. Even then, he was still an A-tier foe in the right hands. Ogre. His ancient Green Man edition wasn't that special, and true Ogre could be beaten with repeated flying kicks. But in human hands, he became a risk. Players could use his fast, unblockable strikes more effectively. His waning moon throw left players vulnerable to follow-up attacks. Then his hunting hawk, normally simple to block, could actually become unblockable with the right timing. Kazuya Mishima. Kazuya's strongest outing was in T2. His gut punch was stronger, his combos did more damage, and he could dodge attacks more easily. Missed step meant he was one of the few characters in the game who could sidestep before T3 made it a universal technique. Even when he skipped that game, most of his moves were handed down to his son Jin. Heihachi Mishima. As the series got more refined, Heihachi got more balanced, but he remained a top contender. He could confuse opponents with his Hellsweep mix-ups, launch them with his Wind Godfist, and juggle them hard with his jabs, chains, and Iron Palm. It played a part in establishing him as the face of the series, leaving fans wondering if T7 is truly his swansong. Jin Kazama. He had strong offense, jabs that left his opponents vulnerable on block, and the just-frame laser scraper that made his launching strike unblockable. His set was so strong he was considered God tier, which led to his dramatic nerfing in T5. Later games made him more of a contender, but players can only hope he never gets as OP as he was in T4. Devil Jin. Devil Jin wasn't quite as monstrous as his regular T4 self. But the power that made T3 Jin deadly was still on display, and would be bolstered by his new chains, fast swoops, and a laser that could catch sidestepping and mid-air opponents. However, with Jin's new look and moves in T8's trailers, it looks like the man has gotten control of the devil within, and will combine his two move sets into one. But as of this writing, it's still early days. Subscribe and like, comment, share for more informations.